And welcome again to the big match. Today, a large slice of an eventful and wildly exciting afternoon at West Ham. The game against Manchester United held up for 20 minutes when a tightly packed crowd spilled onto the pitch, and around it, a match of classic proportions that you can't fail to enjoy today. Elsewhere, an astonishing mistake in injury time as Stoke City meet Newcastle United, and a flare-up at Anfield when Liverpool come face-to-face with Derby County, all on the big match today. But first it's away to Upton Park, where West Ham shut the gates some half an hour before the start of their game against Manchester United. And here are West Ham. What a week they've had, cramming in a 7,000-mile round trip to Russia for a Cup Winners' Cup tie, and now with this clash against the First Division leaders, Manchester United. And as for Manchester United, with no midweek game, they arrive rested and confident. They've won their last 3 games. They show few signs of allowing themselves to be dislodged as pacemakers. The atmosphere, the way it always is when Manchester United are around, it's almost possible to reach out and touch it. And close on 39,000 are in this ground, with many, many locked out. Let's first of all, though, take a check on the two teams for this vital First Division game. And a morning shock for West Ham. Skipper Billy Bonds has caught a stomach infection from Trevor Brooking, who missed that match in Russia, though Trevor is now fit for this one. They're already without Kevin Locke, so Keith Coleman is 6, Bobby Gould is 9, and Keith Robson is 11. Manchester United unchanged for the 5th successive game. 2 men will hope to produce match-winning form, both in the England squad for Czechoslovakia. Trevor Brooking, as I say, now fit again after missing that Cup Winners' Cup tie in Russia. And for Manchester United, Stuart Pearson, surprise member of the England squad, but in really sharp form this season. Important few days too for West Ham keeper Mervyn Day, who gets married on Monday. The referee at Upton Park, Peter Reeves of Leicester. And now it's time for the action.
So this big battle at the top of the First Division table gets underway. West Ham kicking off. They're in 3rd place now, attacking the goal to our left. Claret shirts, blue sleeves. Manchester United, the top team, in white. And the crowd have been savouring this for so long. There were long queues outside the ground early this morning, and by 2 o'clock they were ringing the ground 6 deep. Akari for Manchester United. Off the referee, but it falls for Daly. Buchan. Manchester United with a good away record. They've won 5 out of 8 away from home. They've won their last 3 games as well. People wondering how long they can stay on top, but all the time they have that sort of record, their confidence will be very high. They're going to be very difficult to dislodge. Now with Jimmy Nicholl, one of the youngsters in the side from Belfast. Pearson trying to come away from McDowell, and Pearson now. The bounce beat McDowell, and Stuart Pearson putting it across the goal, and a good calm clearance for West Ham there by Coleman. Good break though by Pearson, helped by that favourable bounce of the ball. Robson. Taylor. West Ham's throw. Skipper Frank Lampard. Paddock. A little touch off for Pat Holland. Gould begging for the ball on the far side. Brooking has found a little bit of space there, but Buchan came across to fill it. But West Ham get the throw. Gould getting a run up for this one. Robson there first. Holland going in. Tommy Taylor. Nice cushion header there for McDowell. Nice delicate skill there by Tommy Taylor. Coleman. A little bit there by Coppell's pace, but then very skillfully finding Mervyn Day. Tremendous kick that Day has got, and Taylor is after it, and he might get there. Yes, Alan Taylor, and they were caught out absolutely wide open. The simplest goal you can imagine, the most elementary mistake you could imagine, and it puts West Ham 1-0 in the lead with 6 minutes gone. A massive kick by Mervyn Day. The United defence hesitated for a moment, and so too did Alex Stepney. Never for a moment though Alan Taylor, and he was in there to head it over Stepney. 1-0. What a remarkable goal. And one that West Ham badly wanted without the inspiration of Billy Bonds, with a 7,000-mile round trip behind them this week to Russia. And people worrying, their fans worrying whether or not they will show a certain amount of tiredness. They've had a brilliant start. Seven minutes of uneventful football, except for one remarkable goal. Twice it worked for Keith Robson, and three West Ham players surging onto that one. Robson finding Holland, and now Brooking letting it run well and pushed from behind, and a free kick for West Ham. And the referee wouldn't allow that to stand because the ball wasn't stationary. Tommy Taylor then with the free kick for West Ham. Hit towards Bobby Gould. Now here's Graham Padden. Good advantage play there by the referee, although the linesman was flagging. Padden with the cross again. Gould with the header. And Taylor, no! Whipped away right at the very last by Tommy Jackson. Good defence there by Jackson, and it needed to be. Taylor was on it like a flash after Graham Padden's very good cross. Now here's Coleman. There's another cross coming in. Holland with the header this time. Bobby Gould. Linesman flagging. Just look where the linesman is. He's about 5 or 6 yards on the field of play. But his decision couldn't have been more positive. And now Nicol. Koppel. Oh, he's got past Lampard. Could be dangerous for West Ham now, and Daly couldn't quite measure up the shot. Nicol can though. Oh, and Day had to go diving down to get that one away. As the ball came out to him, Nicol caught it so well left-footed through a crowd of players, and Day saw it late, but still got a hand to it. So a corner for Manchester United. Curled in again, but Holland getting it to Robson. Jicked on there nicely for Taylor. Just look at his pace. His skills let him down. Brian Greenoff. Lampard's header. Oh, Nicol jumped well underneath that one and was a little lucky. Padden though. And away goes Robson, but I think the ball will beat him to the bottom. Curry. Daly. Koppel. Caught that well, and so too did Day. Koppel for Manchester United, attacking Lampard. And a corner. Stuart Hurston coming up, and Bobby Gould going back with him. The short corner, a chance for Nicol to play in the early ball, which he did, and Brooking eased it away. Buchan. Certainly pushed a lot of people forward, Manchester United. Pearson running over that one. Oh, what a miss by Buchan, or rather by McElroy. Well, that was a remarkable miss as well, as that ball was hit beautifully, powerfully low across that West Ham goal mouth. McElroy on the far side, maybe caught wrong-footed a little bit, but certainly should have scored. Well, again, he's got past Lampard. Coppell's giving Lampard one or two problems here this afternoon, and a cross that's beautifully hit there. Padden heading it away behind for the corner. Again, Coppell got past Lampard, and that was a beautiful low cross that he hit, that in the end produced nothing as Padden headed it away. Corner hit low, McElroy hitting it back again. Oh, and Daly couldn't quite get to it. Houston might. Off Brooking. And here's McDowell. And Houston again for Manchester United. Hit again, and Day had to grab that one, and still it's not away. Well, Day had to react very quickly there. Almost caught out by that shot from Stuart Houston. And here's Houston again. McElroy, and Pearson almost got in. And West Ham at the moment under the whip. A corner for Manchester United. It must have been a West Ham defender as well as Pearson who got a touch to that ball as it came in. And Tommy Jackson will take it. Martin Buchan's up there, so too is Stuart Houston. Again the McElroy header. And I think it'll be taken again because Robson wasn't 10 yards back. So West Ham rapidly organising themselves again as Tommy Jackson prepares to take this corner for Manchester United. Houston going in, a good header away though by Holland, and he took the full assault of Stuart Houston. Brooking. Greenoff right with him. Brooking keeping it in, and now giving Greenoff one or two problems, and Greenoff had confidence enough to play it wide of Gould. And back to Alex Stepney. Game really opening up now as Jackson takes it up. McElroy, Jackson, Macari, McElroy. Still McElroy, this could be very dangerous. McDowell is there, Holland is there, Macari is there. And finally, somehow they get it away again, as Padden finds Holland. Now on for Gould. Nicol. Now Pearson. Oh, he might come for Pearson. Oh, and he hit Day and he knew nothing about it. Well, that fell beautifully for Pearson when he really, I think, didn't expect it to. And he hit it powerfully off balance, and Day knew nothing about it either. Hit his body and finally rebounded to safety. Here's Lampard for West Ham. Holland. Bad ball straight to Macari. Played forward for Stuart Pearson, a touch off for Coppell. Now they're beginning to move a bit, Manchester United. Here's Pearson again. And he's got it across well, and Day had to go down in the post. West Ham really being pulled around at the moment. Pearson showing a good bit of speed there, and a really devastating low shot that Day took well at the near post. Well, the law out in force today. They've got a view of the game now, but they really had their hands full organising the crowd before the game. As the whistle goes for half-time. One goal separating the sides, and what a remarkable one it was. A two-touch goal from one end of the field to the other. The kick by Mervyn Day, and the header as Manchester United hesitated by the number 7 Alan Taylor, giving West Ham that valuable one-goal lead at half-time. The question being really is just how tired they are after that excursion to Russia, and how well they can hold out as Manchester United come hammering at them in the second half. That we shall find out, but there's a lot more to come on the big match this afternoon. The half-time score here at Upton Park, reading West Ham 1, Manchester United 0. We'll be right back with the second half. And as we say, welcome back to Upton Park with West Ham leading by 1-0. Manchester United now attacking the goal to our left. And if the last quarter of an hour of the first half is anything to go by, they'll be hurling everything at West Ham now in this second 45 minutes to try and make good that remarkable lapse in their defence that allowed West Ham to get in and get that one vital goal scored by Alan Taylor. Daly. Settled side at the moment for Manchester United. This is the 5th successive match where they've been unchanged. But now Brooking taking it up for West Ham. Badly needing the impetus of another goal just in case their legs should get a little tired towards the end after that Russian trip in midweek. Brooking elbowed unceremoniously off the ball there, and a free kick to West Ham. Certainly the referee, Peter Reeves, has been on top of everything today. So 3 West Ham players lining up there. Taylor, Gould and Robson. Padden playing it there for Frank Lampard. Right foot, goal kick. Certainly no tiredness there from him. Oh, but McDowell did so well. And Lampard might have given it away to Daly. Macari coming in fast. Daly putting it on to Pearson onside. Good save! West Ham furious there that there wasn't a whistle for offside. And Day did remarkably well to get down and save that one. Brooking turning it in towards Bobby Gould. Headed on. And Stepney saved that one. Nice cross there by Brooking. Gould in the right place, and so too was Stepney. Bobby Gould again. Robson, Brooking. Oh, what a good ball there by Brooking for Keith Robson. Alan Taylor waiting in the middle. There's a chip towards him, and it was a fraction too high for him, otherwise it was a sure goal. What a lovely ball by Brooking. Superb pass. And Robson's cross just a fraction of an inch too high for Alan Taylor. Greenhoff. Again Lampard stopping it. This is a good start to the second half for West Ham. Here's Taylor again. He's gone past them all. Can he still get his shot? And he can! Oh, and Bucken didn't know what to do, and Gould was almost in there. Oh, and look at them now, Bucken and Gould. Tumbling and kicking, and elbows going in there. When Gould seemed to have made a perfectly legitimate challenge for a ball that wasn't by any means within the reach of the Manchester United goalkeeper. And Gould and Bucken both being called to referee Peter Reeves. Gould getting his word in. Moments when you wish you could lip read. I think his first words were, "I saw what happened," whatever you say. And a shake of the hands, and well, that was a good end to it. But I really believe that that was the right sort of unexpected challenge, really, by Bobby Gould. The ball was loose there for a moment, and I think he had every right to go for it. So it's a free kick in the end, though, for Manchester United. Macari. Daly. Koppel. Linesman flagging about something over there. The referee overruled him. Pearson. And a corner for Manchester United. There's the header by Daly. Oh, and McIlroy over the top. Well, that corner by Koppel. Daly got in well. Macari had a chance, but it was too high. Mervyn Day pointing there that one or two of the photographers are on the field there because there's quite a crush behind that goal, and I think we're going to have some trouble there unless the police can act very quickly. That's been a tight little spot there way before the start of the game when the crowd came rushing in there. They've had their spots of bother there, and if we go a little to the left, you can see that there's a whole cordon of policemen up in that top corner, and because they've made a gap there in order to keep the peace, it means that people have been pushed forward, and I think the game will have to be held up for a few minutes here until that frightening congestion down there can be relieved. I think they're going to have to allow a lot of those people who are in that very congested area to come across the barrier onto the field and maybe go round to the other end where it's less congested. There were numerous loudspeaker appeals before the start to ask the 2,000 or 3,000 who were in that corner to move to areas in the field or to shift along a little bit where it was less congested immediately behind the goal. That advice wasn't heeded. And there's confusion and total confusion there at the moment. And people are now invading the pitch. And I'm bound to say, if I were on that side of the field, I would also want to get onto the pitch away from it as well. And Peter Reeves, the referee, is calling the players off the field. And that is the only sensible thing that he can do. It's absolutely pointless for the players to be standing there, and Peter Reeves has made exactly the right decision. I notice that Tommy Kavanagh's coming onto the field as well, getting Manchester United players away from that scene. And the players are being called off the field. The delay has already been some 5 minutes, and I would think it'll be a good few minutes yet before we can start again. Tommy Kavanagh calling one player away, Sammy McElroy. And now it'll be down to the police and the first aid men and the West Ham club officials to try and sort out the disorder that we see in that corner of the ground. And I'm sure the only answer is to allow people to come across that barrier and onto the field for their own safety. The police really have a thankless job there. And they've got to have a fair bit of courage, I think, and some fairly strong wills to go in there and deal with that situation. And even the West Ham manager, Ron Greenwood, now down on the field. He's been talking to police officials, but slowly but surely it seems that the forces are there are getting to grips with this situation. So the players now coming back onto the field. We've had a break of some 17 minutes or so. West Ham are here, Manchester United already back onto the field. And if you've forgotten, I'm sure you haven't, West Ham 1, Manchester United is the score. So the game, the stoppage overall is very close to 20 minutes, and Mervyn Day can restart it now with this goal kick. 35 minutes to go. Houston playing it for Nicol. Lampard's header. And Al McElroy. Back for Nicol. And there's Holland. A throw to Manchester United. Pearson. Flick back again for Koppel. And it's a free kick. I think it was a push by Lampard on Koppel. And the white shirts are in there in force now. 2, 4, 6, 7 of them inside that West Ham penalty area. The free kick comes over. Houston is there with a header. Oh, and it's there! Scored by Macari! Well, Koppel floated that in. Houston jumped brilliantly. And Macari found the touch inside the 6-yard area. Past Mervyn Day. West Ham 1, Manchester United 1. The scorer, Lou Macari. Goal number 6 of the season for him. And Macari chasing him off that ball. Well played by Lou Macari. Collision between two West Ham players, Holland and Coleman, and still Macari finding Koppel. A brilliant run by him. Played in for Daly, hit first time. Now Pearson might chip it in again. Macari's across there, so is Koppel. Corner. Lovely move by Manchester United. Always in with the chance of getting a free shot on goal. No, it was a goal kick in the end. A marvellous piece of determined running and good skill by Lou Macari. Gould. Oh, good bit of play by Bobby Gould, finding Brooking. What a good piece of play by Brooking as well. Lampard playing it on for Patton. Free kick. Foul by Brian Greenwood. Now Patton for West Ham. There's the cross coming in. And Gould! Yes! Bobby Gould! 2-1! From the left and was allowed to go a long way through that 6-yard area. The angle was so sharp for Bobby Gould, and he caught it well. Through Stepney, back of the net. West Ham 2, Manchester United 1. And the man the crowd have been getting at, Bobby Gould, is the man they're cheering now. A really lovely shot from a very, very sharp angle by Bobby Gould as the ball came over from the left. And Gould did so well. And away goes Koppel. Lampard's right there with him. He knows he don't let him have a yard. But here's Macari! Oh, a yard wide. Well, Koppel has been trouble all the afternoon for West Ham, and he got that cross in well. Macari coming up fast on the blind side, heading it a yard wide. Holland took that nicely on his chest. Here's Bobby Gould again. Turned in once more towards Robson, too high for him. Will Brooking make something of it? The yard or so for the cross, and Houston with the header away. Lampard. Oh, and there's Gould with a chance for number 2. And he puts it. Well, somehow behind that line of Manchester United back defenders. And Gould thought for a moment about playing it with his feet and decided to try a header. Badly miscarried. Nickel. Pearson. Lampard. But he fouled Pearson as he did so. It's a free kick to Manchester United. With the free kick for Manchester United. A bit lower this time. Tommy Jackson getting a foot to it. Macari treading over the ball, and Patton getting it away to Bobby Gould. And Gould is on his way. Alan Taylor's gone roaring through, but he's in danger of being offside. Gould still going on his way. Played there for Brooking and hit wide. Well, a great run by Gould, but a brilliant run too by Alan Taylor, taking defenders with him. And in the end, Brooking put it wide. And there's a substitution now. Jerry Daly's coming off, and David McCreary goes on. Gone up straight away into a strong attacking position. Without their skipper Billy Bonds, without Kevin Locke as well. McDowell. Patton, oh, and he's lost this to Koppel. Koppel finding Pearson, and it's still not away yet. Macari right there, just across the goal and behind. Goal kick. Could not have been closer there for West Ham as that skirmishing in the 6-yard area. there may have been an infringement. Alan Taylor. And it's all over. And West Ham have beaten the league leaders with a goal by Bobby Gould. After Alan Taylor had scored the first one, Irving Day goes off, the man who gets married on Monday, having brought off 1 or 2 brilliant saves, so he'll have a day that he can remember. And it indeed will the referee Peter Reeves, who had that difficult crowd situation to handle, and he handled it well and did the only thing that he could have done by taking the players off for some 20 minutes. So a very eventful afternoon and a very important win for West Ham. Goals by Taylor and by Gould, replying from one by Macari for Manchester United. So a final score at Upton Park is West Ham 2, Manchester United 1.
Superb game, and a credit to West Ham, who kept going so well after all their exhausting travels of the past few days, and of course to Manchester United as well. They came and they attacked in a most exhilarating way, and even those crowd scenes couldn't entirely spoil the day. And today our papers have given that incident full coverage, and West Ham will investigate the whole incident during this coming week. I think it's important, though, to get the whole thing in perspective. And one piece of evidence that is available to West Ham is that an outside door in that troubled area was opened from the inside just after half-time, and a gate man saw it then pushed off its hinges by a couple of hundred fans who'd been locked out from the start, and their pressure in that area added to the problems. And as you'll see now from our little diagram here, that's the door where they came in after being broken down, and that was the tight little area where all the pressure was, and the congestion must have forced those people over onto the pitch. It was an overspill. There had, of course, been fights earlier in the afternoon, and I'm sure that they were a factor in the whole thing. But in fairness to Manchester United, I must stress that there were none immediately before this frightening incident. It was a case of people spilling onto the pitch for the sake of their own safety. Even so, an investigation is essential. It needs to be a thorough one, I'm sure it will be. And of course, our pictures on the programme today will be available to West Ham if they want them. Now the game itself, and a word now from the man who scored that winner, Bobby Gould of West Ham. But first I asked him what the referee had said to the players when he took them off the field of play.
I never actually spoke to the referee, but I think he told John Lowell and Tommy Docherty that he was going to give it 10 minutes, see what the situation was, and then we just play it by ear.
And what was going on when you went into the dressing room?
Well, we were sitting down, we were trying to get another cup of tea, but we eventually got one without any milk in this time.
You couldn't get any milk?
We've been used to that in Russia, mind you, but...
We'll talk about Russia in a minute. Let's talk first of all about your goal.
Yes.
I'm surprised it got as far as you, right across that 6-yard area. It seemed to go a long way.
It did. I think Sammy McIlroy had one in the first half, very similar, but the opposite way round. I just happened to get on the end of Graham's tremendous cross, really hammered it, and I just managed to steer it in. I don't know which side it went of Alex Stepney, but it went the right side.
And you seem to be aware that there was a camera there as well.
I've been getting some terrible stick in the dressing room, Brian. I've been out the side for a long time. I've worked very hard while I've been injured. And to score a goal against Manchester United, well, I enjoyed it, and I hope everybody else did anyway.
I think the West Ham fans, what sort of stick were you getting in the dressing room then?
Well, Ernie Gregory told me that when I went down on my knees, he said you hadn't got any energy to get up, and I think that's quite true as well.
Well, you've had a busy week anyhow. But I think you were saying just a moment ago, before we started this, that you owed West Ham something because the Manchester United equaliser, in fact, was in a way down to you not marking Stuart Houston properly.
Yes, correct. I should have been picking Stuart up. Didn't reach it. No balls reached him in the first half, but in the second half, that one just after half time. The second interval, and I was caught napping.
Was the fact that there had been that 20-minute delay, did your concentration go because of that, do you think?
I don't know, Brian. It perhaps could have affected me in that way, but I didn't get with him. He got the yard, got the header on, and I think Lou Macari was in there just to get the final touch.
Yeah. But if you were caught napping there, they were certainly caught napping early on. I mean, I don't think I've seen a more remarkable goal than that all season.
No, I think Alan Taylor was exceptionally brave. He went through 2 people, and with Alex Stepney coming out, tremendous goal. You know, fantastic goal scorer, this young boy. Tremendous potential.
What about you? Do you feel, I mean, obviously you're not happy being in and out of the side and occasionally getting in and the rest of it, but exactly how do you feel about West Ham and the situation?
I've been at 6 clubs now, and this is a fantastic club. There's a lovely atmosphere. Everybody wants to do well. I was at Arsenal just before they started the league double and everything, and cup final, and I think they've got a better side here, and I'm just happy to be involved in it. Very, very happy.
In what way better, Bobby, do you think?
I think at Arsenal we're a little bit stereotyped, but here we've got so much potential. You look at the players that didn't play today, Bonds, Jennings, Locke, Best even. You know, it's an unbelievable pool that we've got, and I think we can go a long, long way.
And you're quite happy to go on battling for that place, even though you don't very often get one?
I wouldn't say that, Brian. I've been very fortunate. I've got a cup final medal. I'm very, very happy here. Very happy indeed.
Tell us about Russia now, because everybody expected you to be so tired after that, and yet, in fact, in the second half, you look probably better than you did in the first.
Yes, I think first half, I personally felt a lot more tired in the first half. Perhaps it's just coming back into the side again and feeling my feet. But in the second half, John tied us down a little bit more, and we played more to the pattern we wanted to. I think it showed, and you know, we just went from strength to strength in the end.
We've seen a few fleeting glimpses of that Mervyn Day mishap out in Ararat, Yerevan. What was the player's view of that?
Perfectly honest, I definitely think it was a foul. Mervyn had the ball in his hands, and as far as we're concerned, it was headed out of his hands, and therefore I was personally involved with the referee at the time because we were having a little chat, because he could speak quite good English, and I don't think he even seen the ball knocked out of his hands, to be very honest. And he would have been a very brave man to disallow it with 70,000 Russians shouting at him.
1-1 going to the second leg, confident?
It'll be a very, very difficult game. I saw one of the best players I've ever seen in my life, and that was their number 6. Don't ask me to pronounce his name, but he's quite a player. He's fantastic out there, and I think we'll have to shut him down. Patsy Holland did a tremendous job on him out there. If we can shut him down again, I think we've got a great chance.
Thank you for your goal, and for the pictures afterwards. I think we might see those again a few times.
The lads were on about the diving header, but please don't show that for my sake. I'll get some more stick for that.
And that's a deal. We won't show it again, because what we turn to next is a match with a crazy finishing touch to it. It's just a couple of glimpses, in fact, of Stoke City's game yesterday against Newcastle United. Watch out then as the pictures come from ATV. The commentator's Hugh Johns with Stoke City in the stripes.
Greenough knocking it back well for Hasselgrave now. Mahoney tried the back flick and it didn't come off. Blore. Now Paychick. Salmons. Blore stays up in the attack. Comes for Hasselgrave. Hasselgrave again. Too high for Moores. The shot from Mahoney. Missed kick. Marsh now. Far post, Greenough. Oh, and a magnificent save from Mahoney. Ball going across from Marsh. Greenough getting a good hit to it. Mahoney under tremendous pressure from Moores and Blore. And a fabulous save over the bar for the corner. Salmons then with the corner. Moores couldn't get there, and Greenough has. So it finally paid off, all the pressure. Newcastle stunned. Jimmy Greenough gets his goal right on the 15th minute of the second half. Well, time up on our watches. It looks very much as though Newcastle have lost 7 out of 8 away this season. As McDonald takes it. No, Mahoney gets there, and Hasselgrave is in. Newcastle chasing in here with Gowling, and Shilton has lost it. Here's the equaliser. There it is. Oh, what a terrible tragedy. It's 1-1. We're 30 seconds into injury time, and Stoke have been absolutely stunned by that equalising goal. Newcastle can hardly believe it themselves. That long ball through, the missed tackle, leaving Gowling to advance on his own. Shilton coming fully 30 yards off his line to kick clear, misses kick, and Gowling then had nothing but an empty net to steer the ball into. Well, that surely has got to be the most dramatic equaliser that we've had this season.
Well, an agonising mistake that Peter Shilton will be a long time forgetting, I would think. Now on the programme, it's time again for your letters. I don't know whether it's a conspiracy or not, but I've had a whole host of letters in the past week from people in the Bristol area saying, isn't it about time we saw Bristol Rovers or Bristol City on the programme? Steve Pilling of 58 Lulworth Crescent, Downend in Bristol. David Sharp of 8 Harcourt Hill, Redland, Bristol 6. And John Collins of 27 Henbury Court, Henbury in Bristol are just 3 of many who wrote on that particular subject. Well, let's see some action now, first of all, to please them all of Bristol City. And, of course, it's their epic cup victory against Leeds United at Elland Road.
Trying the through ball. Ritchie leaving it for Fear. He rode one tackle from Bremner. He's having to wait for support. A mixed up again. 3 of them. Oh, it's there! It is there!
And, of course, we can't leave Bristol Rovers out of the action as well. And we've got some pictures now of how they beat Aston Villa in a second division match at Eastville last season.
There is Warboys standing behind Stanton. It's going to be touched to him, I imagine, and then a big bang. Here it goes. It's there. It worked. Thirdly, going well. He's got space. Goal. Number 2 for Alan Warboys. 5 minutes from time.
Well, I hope we've done our bit for you now in the West Country. But before we go on, just a word about 4 matches that might have escaped your attention that are being played this week. Tomorrow night, for example, Chelsea face the Italian under-23 team at Stamford Bridge, where the Duke of Edinburgh will present the Prince Philip Cup to the winners. Also on Monday, Peter Allen of Orient, a great servant of their club there, has a testimonial match. Orient against West Ham United, kick-off 7:45. And Millwall are getting in on the act as well, and why not? Because Barry Kitchener of Millwall has a testimonial also on Monday night. Millwall against Spurs at the Den, also a 7:45 kick-off. They are tomorrow night. And then on Tuesday night, Charlton meet Arsenal at the Valley, kick-off 7:30. This is for that fine backroom servant of theirs, Les Gore. And then there's Fulham against Leicester at Craven Cottage. That's a testimonial for Stevie Earle, who left Fulham, of course, after many years of good service at Craven Cottage for Leicester City. That also is on Tuesday. It really is a night for the loyal fans to get out and support loyal club men. Our third game today involves 2 of England's successful European clubs over the past week. Liverpool, who won in Spain this week, now meeting Derby County, who had that sparkling victory over Real Madrid. So, Anfield is our next stop for a game with a lot of prestige to it and with a nasty flare-up towards the end. Granada's cameras were there. The commentator's Gerald Sinstadt. Liverpool are in the all-dark strip.
Phil Neal to take it. Keegan. Handball by Newton. Involuntary. Keegan's head yet again, and Toshak on the turn! Keegan's head does the trick. The long ball finds him. He flicks it off, and Toshak pivots and hits it with his left foot. Quarter of an hour into the second half, 1-0 still to Liverpool. Derby bringing on Davis to see if he can produce something more up front. Gemmell away, Charlie George down injured. Technically offside, Lee still going on and putting it in the net. Referee has allowed the goal. Charlie George technically in an offside position, but couldn't be interpreted as interfering with play. The ball knocked through, chased by Lee, and in the most economical of movements, tucked into the net. Gemmell to George, on for Davis. Davis brought down by Thompson, right on the edge of the area. Penalty, says George. Free kick, says the referee. Now, I would have thought that that was probably either outside or just on the line, and that was a timely intervention by Francis Lee. It was also a timely tackle by Phil Thompson, but whether it was entirely commendable is another matter altogether. It looked very much as though he was beaten. And that was what professionals call a professional foul. 5 men in the firing line. And a lot of big kickers on the Derby side, but it looks as though the man we might expect to see is Charlie George. Clements looking for a view. Rioch is replacing the ball, but he can kick it as hard as George, and it might well be either of them. It's Rioch, charged down by Cormac. And there's a fight breaking out. Referee getting in amongst them, and really, what is this all about? Well, it's calmed down as soon as it's begun, but what a disgraceful scene. The linesman has spotted something and is talking to the referee. Ferment on the Kop, but Mr. Bailey, the linesman from Stockport on the near side, spotted an incident and is calling them back for a free kick, I think, to Liverpool. And whatever it was, no further action. I certainly didn't see what started it, but suddenly everybody was in. Thompson. Back pass, Davis, down he goes, no penalty. The Derby players clustering round Mr. Styles, and they'll do well to stay out of it now. McFarlane sending Todd away, and Todd is going to be booked. McFarlane furious, because Todd then must surely have sworn at the referee. That was why McFarlane was so angry. Very tricky situation there for Mr. Styles. He must have been under a lot of pressure there, and I think he made the right decision. Having just turned down a penalty appeal, I think rightly, because the incident was committed just outside the box when Thompson tripped Davis. Davis again was through and was brought down in the box, but in my view that wasn't a penalty either. But the two incidents so close together in a game which has suddenly become explosive, making the situation which makes you feel a good deal of sympathy for referees.
Well, it finished 1-1, but what about those Derby County penalty appeals that also had the knock-on effect of Colin Todd getting his name in the referee's book? Both of the incidents, of course, involve Roger Davis. And here's the first one coming up now. As Davis takes this ball, he was onside, a nicely timed run, in fact. Phil Thompson is after him, but look, he makes contact with Davis outside the area. And although Roger Davis falls inside the box, that doesn't matter. The incident occurred outside the area, and the referee, Keith Starr's, absolutely right not to give a penalty, to give a free kick. I'm not quite so sure about this second one, though. What a poor back pass that was there, and Davis quickly onto it. Ray Clements out of his goal, but watch Clements and Davis's right leg there. Looked to me as though he might just have got a touch on Davis's leg there, and it looked suspiciously like a penalty to me. Davis there can't believe he hasn't got one. But like a blooming good sportsman, he gets up and says to Ray Clements, well, you got away with that one. So there we are, Derby perhaps a little bit unlucky. Some news from the England camp this morning, remembering, of course, that vital match against Czechoslovakia in Bratislava on Wednesday, that David Johnson's arrived with an ankle injury, Kevin Beattie with a hamstring injury, and Kevin Keegan with a bruised hip. But nobody, says Don Revie, has cried off. Everybody's turned up. He doesn't plan any late replacements. Well, that's it for this week. Don't forget On the Ball next Saturday lunchtime, and of course the big match next Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock. I think you'll agree we've been able to bring you some superb action today, particularly from that West Ham-Manchester United game. And we're going to leave you with a contrasting life of goalkeepers. How Peter Shilton lost a point, how Mervyn Day with his mighty kick helped to win 2, and finally the happiest pictures of the week when Bobby Gould scored his winner for West Ham.
Gets there. Hazelgrave is in. Newcastle chasing in here with Gowling, and Shilton has lost it. Here's the equaliser. There it is. Tremendous kick that Day has got, and Taylor is after it, and he might get there. Yes, Alan Taylor. Now Patton for West Ham. There's the cross coming in, and Gould. Yes, Bobby Gould. 2-1.